Hey friends, welcome to the 37th episode of the Sunday Knitting Society podcast. My name is Chelsea and I'm a knitter in Oklahoma City. If you're new here, welcome. And if you're coming back, welcome back. I hope you guys have had a good 2 weeks. Week, I guess. 2 weeks since the last normal podcast. I'm going to apologize from the offset if my lighting is weird today. It is super cloudy and rainy and overcast. And it's also earlier than I normally podcast. But I got a 6-year-old's birthday party to make it to today. And I have to show you guys what I made her. So I kind of had to film this a little early. So I'm a morning person. This is not that early for me. It's I think it's already 8. Yeah, it's 8. I've been up since 6. So this is great. Got a haircut. I've been promising myself a haircut since I started doing long runs. My hair was driving me crazy. It was I have fine hair, but I have a lot of it, and it takes forever to dry. It takes me I kind of pre-dry it for a while after a shower, and then when it's still damp, it then takes me another 15 to 20 minutes to blow dry it. If I sleep on my hair wet, it will be wet when I wake up in the morning. It's ridiculous. So my hair took 5 minutes this morning, and I get to bust out all my hair clips. Yeah, I love it. I'm so ready to get this chopped off, and I'm glad I got to do it. I lost my train of thought. I also have a big old coffee this morning. It's I need energy when I'm drinking black coffee. I've kind of gotten, I've been a black coffee drinker most of my life. In college, I realized that if I wanted creamer in my coffee, I would have to buy creamer frequently. So I learned to drink it black. I love black coffee, but a few years ago, mid-pandemic, a friend got me onto a certain creamer that isn't made anymore, but it kind of spoiled me, and so now I like lattes and cream in my coffee. But this morning I was like, that latte isn't gonna cut it. I need the big guy. So that's what I've got this morning. But my dogs are outside enjoying this weather and a cookie, so they will not participate in the podcast. So it'll probably go a little smoother. But yeah, so last episode I did my recap and I kind of set some goals for this coming year. I find it funny that literally the week after that I massively broke 2 of my goals and also kind of accomplished one. So it's just kind of funny. I don't have a ton of knitting today. Maybe I'll still talk a lot. I have 1 FO and a hoe. I have 1 acquisition that I think I showed last time, but I don't remember, so I'm going to show it again, or for the first time, who knows. And then I've got some spinning, and just some life chat. So what am I wearing? I'm not wearing any knitwear. I actually put on a sweater today, and it just felt wrong. It was itchy. I wasn't comfortable. I was like, I just felt like I'd be lying to you if I wore a sweater today, or a hand knit sweater today. So I decided to keep it real. So I'm wearing my flock sweatshirt. I am so looking forward to flock this year. So my mom is coming with me, and I think we're gonna do a little pre-trip before the flock trip and go up to Bellingham and go spin cycle. Very excited about that. But yeah, I love their logo. This I think is the cutest logo, and all the merch I've gotten from Flock this past year I've loved. So looking forward to getting some more Flock merch this year. But yeah, that's what I'm wearing. So let's go to my only FO and the one I'm most excited about. It is my niece's birthday sweater. So, my niece is turning 6 next week. I knit her a hot pink sweater for her birthday last year. And this child has turned out to be incredibly knit-worthy. Just, you know, anytime you knit for a child, I feel like you can't get your feelings hurt by a child. Because they may be like, oh, cool, yeah, no thanks. Or they might like color it over in marker, you know? Like, they're kids. And so I was like, I gave it to her fully expecting that she'd like take a picture with it and then never wear it. I had to bring my D-pillar over to my sister's house the other day because she's worn it so much that it is just covered in pills. It's also like 2 inches too short on her arm, too short on the body. So I went up a size. So I used the same pattern I did last year. This is the No Frills Junior by PetiteKnit. I clearly didn't have enough yarn. Oh, come on. So it's just, yeah. So I had 4 skeins of fingering weight yarn that were purple or in the purple family. And I'm not a big purple person, but I've been like convincing myself I was going to make a marled striped lento with them. And so I'd had the yarn wound up and sitting, sitting downstairs waiting for me to just swatch. And I never did. And then I was reading the pattern and for the size I wanted to make, so I made the second size, which I think is the 5 to 6 year old. For that size, I needed 150 grams of yarn. And I thought, oh, perfect. I've got 200 grams in fingering weight. These are not equivalent, apparently. Apparently. So I was knitting the body. Actually, I love this marl. I think this is so fun. I'm not gonna lie though. Sometimes, like, I am a migraine sufferer and I get visual auras. And this kind of looks like a visual aura to me, so there's a little bit of like when I see this, but overall I still like, you look at it from far away, it's cute. But I got like 4 inches into the body, and because I did a 10-inch body, got 4 inches in and realized, ooh, I'm running low on yarn. And I was like, I don't want to finish the whole body and then have sleeves that from up here are a different color, like, because then it's going to be like up here's the main color and down here's the contrast. So what I did was I weighed my yarn and then I knit until I was around halfway. I miscounted. I wasn't even close to halfway. And then I switched yarns and finished out the sleeve. Did the exact same on this side. And then I went and picked up the body and re-knit. And it turns out I had a lot more than I thought because I got like another 3 or 4 inches. And I barely switched to the second color for the hem. But I think she's gonna love this. It's soft. It's much thicker than her first one, which is actually perfect because we're having an exceptionally cold winter for us. Right now, not. Right now, we're like in the 60s. I'm a little cranky about that. But I think she'll love this. So this is gonna get put in a cute little bag. And then I also got her some books because she is already kind of reading. I mean, yeah, she's a smart cookie. I also have to just say, I think this is a cute story. So my family does the Tooth Fairy. Believes in the Tooth Fairy. And so she lost her first tooth a few months ago, and the Tooth Fairy left her a note and some quarters under her pillow, and she was so excited about it. And a couple nights ago she lost her second tooth and the Tooth Fairy left her money. And when she woke up, she was telling my sister and my brother-in-law, she's like, the Tooth Fairy only left me money this time. Like, that's so sweet. Like, she wants the note more than she wants the money. I just think that's so cute. I think she's the best. She and her sister, they're pretty great. So anyway, that's my only FO. Sorry, I'm saying a lot. All right, and then I have a hoe. This is okay, so the first goal that I failed on, literally in the first week of having this goal, is to not set deadlines for myself. I mean, a birthday is a pretty hard deadline, I feel like. So that one, I kind of, yeah. The other deadline like goals I made that contradict each other is no deadlines and one sock a month, or one pair of socks a month. Those are deadlines. So I am now like frantically trying to finish a second sock before the 31st, or for the 1st, I guess. But this has not been blocked. I guess I could go get my sock blocker. I'll say this will look a lot better once it's on a blocker. I thought I'd knit this too long, but then I put it on and I'm like, it actually works. So this is the first sock, and this is in Nomadic Yarns. I think this is Knitmas was the colorway. So it's a Christmas sock. I'm knitting in January. So I finished the first one. I still think it's probably just a smidge too long, but it works. So I've just turned the heel on sock number 2. So I'm doing the gusset. This is such a tangent. I've been like exhausted all week. I've been sleeping great. Maybe not like a full 8 hours, but still like 7, which is still usually enough for me. But I think the weather played into it, but I've just been like tired all week. And so I kept promising myself, like, Friday night, you're going to bed early, like 8 o'clock. You're going to get fantastic sleep. But by Friday, I was actually feeling a little less tired. And I ended up staying up until 11 watching again, I've watched it many times, the Wednesday TV or series on Netflix. Love it. It's my favorite TV show, I think, of all time. Cannot wait for season 2. I literally dressed up as Wednesday for Halloween. It was a look. But I was like, I think I was actually like here at the beginning of the evening. And so I got through the whole heel turn and started the gusset, and then it was end of the series and I was like, okay, go to sleep. And then ironically my dogs woke me up at 5 o'clock this morning. So I kind of like ignored them and went back to sleep for an hour. But so yeah, I'm gonna try to finish the gusset on this today, and then hopefully like Sunday I can get most of the foot done and then be done with it like Tuesday, Wednesday, because there's a downside of getting your hair cut is there's little pieces that end up in your face for a few days, in my experience. Where was I going with this? Oh yeah, so I have signed up for the La Mercerie Year of Socks. Forget what it's called. And my next one is gonna get here on Monday. So I really want to finish these so I can get going. I will say, as much as I've like set a deadline on myself, there is actually something so this is where I've succeeded, I think, with my goals, is I have a goal to finish this, but knitting on a sock just feels so simple to me. Like, not easy in the sense that like, oh, it's a piece of cake. I mean, I've done so many of these, it kind of is, but and I don't use a pattern. I just have figured out what I like, and I do the exact same thing every single time. I love it. But it just like, I feel more accomplished when I knit a sweater. It just feels like a bigger, like more substantial project. So socks kind of feel like this is your travel knitting. This isn't your real knitting. And so it actually feels very luxurious, I think, to just sit and work on something that isn't substantial, something that's just a sock, you know, like I didn't feel rushed to finish this. I know I can finish this in a couple days if I have enough knitting time. It was just relaxed and felt good. And so I'm kind of enjoying that. I'm looking forward to that this year, of just working on things like sweaters I wear all the time, except for the summer. Like when it's cool, I wear a knit sweater almost every day. And so it kind of feels like I gotta get more. Whereas socks, I don't wear that often. And so it doesn't feel like I don't have as much drive to knit socks. So I don't know. I just think being able to spend time working on something that isn't something you like need to get done, or like I have a deadline, but I don't have like a hard deadline. Like if it doesn't get done by the 31st, oh well, I'll finish it in February. But anyway, yeah, so it's been a nice little project to work on. I think the other reason this has felt kind of relaxing, honestly, is that I have a sweater whip that I really want to finish, but I'm allowing myself time to finish the sock, and I'm not letting myself work on the sweater until I'm done with the sock. And normally that stresses me out, but for some reason this time it feels good. So sorry if that was just all over the place. It kind of felt like it was. But I'm a verbal processor, and sometimes I figure out how I feel about things by talking out loud on a podcast. I love coffee. Okay, so this project is I love this so much. You guys have seen this. This is my hand spun sweater, which I'm still pumped about. Oh, hello. Oh man, okay. All right, so I've made progress since last time. I am not done, but I finished the body. I think I'd finished the body last time. No, I haven't finished the body. I don't remember why I stopped it. Oh, because I ran out of yarn? Did I run out of yarn? Yeah, I ran out of yarn. Okay, that makes more sense. So I have finished one sleeve. I love these bigger color changes. So it definitely is a different vibe from the sweater, which is much smaller stripes. These are like much slower, more gradienty stripes. Is gradienty a word? I don't know, but we're gonna go with it. Gradiating stripes, I don't care. I am not planning to match my sleeves. I don't think that's even possible because my hand spun is random and I don't care. I just don't. So yeah, so I have one sleeve and I've got a little bit of ribbing and then I'm done. So I just need to finish a sock and then I'm gonna finish this. I think this will be my birthday sweater. I think this is such a Chelsea sweater. So my birthday is in February. It's like a few weeks from now. So I just think this will be, I'll probably wear this to work on my birthday. And it'll just be so fun. It's so soft too. I love it so much. Yeah, I actually already started this one. Didn't even, that's where my brain is. I can't even remember. I've actually done the first two decreases. Oh, look at me. So yeah, I love this yarn that I made. Like, it's just, I'm just gonna brag on myself. Like, I don't know how I did that. But I'm so excited about it. So much so, let me actually get this put up somewhat neatly. Oh gosh, it's like I forgot how to fold. So I have, one of the reasons I don't have more knitting is because I've done a lot of spinning, like a lot. Partly because I had last weekend, so I spent a lot of time last weekend knitting or spinning. We had, I'm trying to remember if man, it's so funny how like time flies and you just forget what you did 2 weeks ago. But oh no. Okay, I think I just spilled it. I thought my coffee cup was leaking. I think that is gonna be oh, I think it is. Shoot. Is it? Yes. Oh Okay, I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. Got my Walt Disney World Marathon mug, which is massive. So I'm glad I caught that, man. It was like, luckily it was right next to slightly coffee colored sweaters, but like that would have been a disaster. Anyway, I don't even remember what I was talking about. Spinning. Oh, I don't know. After finishing this last one, so I have planned at some point to spin a sweater's quantity of yarn. And when I was doing this spin for this sweater, I did not think I'd have enough for a sweater, and I was very pleasantly surprised. So now I'm thinking like, oh, it's actually not that hard to spin a sweater's quantity. Maybe I should do it. And so I went through my fiber and I picked out 3 bags that I felt like would maybe look good together. I don't know how they're gonna look. They may look terrible together, but we're gonna go with it. So I found that I draft better or easier when I have a skinnier strip of fiber. So I took all 3 bags and I split them all into quarters lengthwise. And then I just spun end to end. And my goal, I'm like over halfway done with the 3rd one. And so I'm gonna ply them all together. So yeah, I have also discovered if I turn on my overhead light in my living room, it's enough light for me to spin. So I've been able to spin when it's dark outside, which is great. I still do better when I have natural light, but we also had a snow day, ice day on Monday. Literally my street was a block of ice. I had to get on my butt to slide down my front stairs to be able to get to my garage to get salt. And actually I have like 5 steps and I've got a railing, and so sitting on my butt and I slid down the first step and I almost couldn't stop it. I almost just went which would have hurt. But I was like hopping, I ran through the grass and then like hopped over into the garden and got to the garage. It was ridiculous. But I assaulted my driveway and I looked, and there were literally like air bubbles trapped in the ice on my street. So like that I feel like that's fairly thick ice that you can trap air bubbles in it. And no one was driving on my street, so I couldn't see how the traction was, but I had no traction to walk on it. So I was glad that we canceled work that day, because I don't honestly think I could have gotten out of my neighborhood, but it did mean I got a whole day at home. I did some work. I did do a little bit of work from home, but then I spent pretty much the rest of the day spinning. I actually regretted I didn't regret spinning, but I regretted not taking more breaks, because I need to figure out how to sit with better posture when I spin. I've tried out a few different setups, but I need to keep working on that, because the next day I was sore. Like my hand hurt a little bit, but not that bad. I actually had muscle tension on the left side. I think it's because I was twisting, and I am very conscious to sit. Ow, I just kicked this bed. Ow. Very conscious with how I sit. So I sit with good posture, but I think it's just the positioning is just not great. So I'm going to work on that, but I'm also trying to be more mindful to take breaks more frequently, because I can spin for a long time. Like I can look up and realize I've been spinning for 3 hours. I'm like, oops. But I also kept the little stickies so I could remember what each fiber was. So they're all from Hello Yarn, Yarn Clubs. This was December of 22. It was Rambouillet wool top, and it's called Pastille. I love this one. It's so fun. Yeah. I think that's so cool. So this is the brightest of all 3. And actually, I picked them in random order for which one I wanted to spin first, second, and third. And it's funny because they get moodier as you go. Like the last one I'm spinning right now is the moodiest yarn. So this could be an interesting one. So this one I actually spun up some of this before, but when I ordered more fiber, it was the dye lots were different enough that I didn't think they'd blend well. But this is October 2022, Double Toil and Trouble, and this is Falkland Merino. So this one has some really beautiful lavenders and like golds and navies and ochres. So these are the first two. They may be terrible together. I don't know. And then you get the third one that's like a lot more like dark navies and dark burgundies, but there's still some gold and a little bit of pink. So I think it'll work out okay. I am gonna do a 3-ply. So I have the EEW6 e-spinner and I love it. I have, like, honestly, it makes sense to my brain. It works for me, but I don't love the Lazy Kate that it comes with. They're vertical and they're just like interlocking, so you can add as many as you want, which is great. It's just so lightweight that I find that as I'm pulling the fiber or the ply off, it tends to either like scoot forward, the whole thing does, or it tips, which is kind of annoying. And so when I've done 2-plies before, I've just set my cell phone in front of it, and that kind of is enough weight to keep it from sliding forward. But I'm kind of worried with a 3-ply, it's gonna be like, I'm gonna have a harder time keeping it in place. So I was looking at buying a Lazy Kate from a different company, but I think the problem I've noticed is that the EEW bobbins are huge compared to traditional bobbins like Ashford or forgetting all the other names. Shocked, or like all the other different companies that make like wooden bobbins for normal for like spinning wheels, non-e wheels. They I think have like 4-inch long bobbins. Mine is 6, and so I don't think, at least, and I found too on a lot of the websites, they don't really give you good dimensions, and so I'm a little nervous to buy one because I'm just afraid my bobbins won't even fit on it. But I like the stacked, like the 3 vertically, like with the bobbins horizontal. And I shot my dad a picture. I was like, hey, can you build this for me? Because it really doesn't look that complicated. And I think I don't need it to look fancy. I just need it to be functional. So I'm going to measure everything and like draw him a schematic. And I'm seeing him today. And so I think I'll see if he can build me one. I'll probably go ahead and use the one I have for now. I may just try to like, maybe I'll get like a block of wood or something and like put rubber bands around it and just like I don't know. I'll figure out some way for this next one to kind of keep it heavier. But yeah, I would like to have something that could sit on the floor. I just think that might be a little, like, ergonomically maybe a little easier, but there's that. It doesn't taste as good out of a mug. It tastes better out of a paper cup. Okay, so that's all my crafting for this week. That's it. I mean, I feel like that's still, I did a whole sweater. It was just a kid's sweater. I think I showed this acquisition before, but in case I didn't, I'll show it again this time. So this is from Kindred Red. I think I did show this. So this is her folk sock, which I believe is all non-superwash. Yeah. 437 yards. So this is Amalia's Dahlias and Clementine. I'm pretty sure I showed this before. So right now what I'm really craving is a 1x1 rib beanie with a big fold. So there's part of me, I wanted something bright and punchy. And so I could probably get away with double stranding one of these, but there's part of me that kind of wants to marl these. I just think that'd be really fun. I also have some DK from Suburban Stitcher in light neon pink. And I think this would actually go super well. Although I kind of already have a hat in this color. This is my Musselburgh. I also need to find, I started a second Musselburgh and I have no idea where it is. I've none. It's in a project bag somewhere in my house. And I kind of want to work on it. It just feels like a nice, easy project. So I need to go find that. But, so I have been, this past year I haven't been buying a lot of yarn because I've been paying off student loan debt. I'm now done with that. And still forgot to bring a party hat. Dang it. Maybe on my birthday episode I'll have a party hat. We'll see. But anyway, so I haven't been buying a ton of yarn. I have bought yarn, but I haven't bought lots of yarn. And I don't really want to just go back to like buying tons of yarn that I have no purpose for. But I've bought yarn. I'm trying to buy yarn with a pattern, like maybe not a specific pattern, but like an idea in mind. So if I can't think of how I would use that yarn, I'm not buying it. So, and then a couple, like one of the things I bought is a pre-order. And I kind of like that too, because it's not like it's all coming to me at once. It's going to space itself out. So I bought some from the Wandering Flock. Super pumped about it. I'm planning another Sophie shawl. I have two. I have a limey, not really lime green, pea green one that's made out of Moondrake yarns, and I love it. And then I have a big chunkier one out of Pearl Soho yarn. I get more compliments from those scarves than I get for any other thing I've knit. Everyone loves those. And honestly, I find them to be incredibly wearable. And so I've decided I need more of them in my life. So I bought some yarn to make that. And then I also bought more yarn to make another sweater for another niece. But then I've also bought some other things that will be here sooner. I had a kind of a heavy day at work this past week. Just there's a lot of sadness, kind of all crammed into one day. And I was just I was feeling it, and I decided to, I treated it with some spin cycle. So I realize how ridiculous that is, but it was just, I needed something lighthearted and something fun. And so looking forward to getting a package in the mail from Spin Cycle was worth it. And so I made a purchase and I'm super happy. I've said this before, like I need to stop buying Spin Cycle online. But I think I was just like, I was ready for the gamble. I was like, let's just see what we get. We'll see. It may be, I may not like any of these colors. They may not be, but I think I will. I think I'll like them all. I'm looking forward to it. So I've got that coming. And then let's see, this will go live on Sunday. So this will be the day of the Explore Knits and Fibers pre-order. Y'all, I've reconciled myself to the fact that I will be buying 2 sweater quantities. I've mostly narrowed down what I'm going to order. And it actually surprised me. So I showed at work, I was showing the Instagram page with all the different colors. And I was showing it around. I was like, if you were going to pick out a sweater for me in one of these colors, what color would you pick? And what's funny is the colors I was leaning towards are not in my typical, like one of them is not in my normal wheelhouse. And what's funny to me is so many people pointed to that one. I was like, huh, okay, well, we're going to go with that. So that won't be here till like April. I think April to June, I think is the time window. So I'll have plenty of time to clear out some other yarn first. I have some, and then I also bought some from Lamb and Kid. So my birthday is in a couple weeks, and to kind of, I'm going to say this, I recognize this is ridiculous. but I'm going with it. I love birthdays. I do not understand people who don't want to celebrate their birthday. I love my birthday. I would happily celebrate my birthday month if I could, at least my birthday week. I enjoy the birthday week. I really don't even need presents. I just, the like excitement around it, I will always have. So I am getting myself a present for every day of my birthday week, and I'm literally wrapping them in cute wrapping paper I got from Rifle Paper. I texted my family, we're in a big group text, a picture of the wrapping paper. And I was like, just in case any of you thought I was kidding when I said I was going to wrap up my birthday presents. And my dad wrote back and he goes, no one thought that. Like, you guys know me. But some of the yarn that I've ordered is going to be a birthday present. So even though I know what all these gifts are, I bought them for myself, but it's still going to be fun to unwrap them. So I have some of them wrapped. One of the things I bought for myself, this was one of those, like, I do my best shopping right before bed or first thing in the morning. It's kind of my toxic trait. But right before bed one night, I was so tired. I was starting to drift off. And I thought, so I have this set of Nancy Drew books from my mom. And Nancy Drew was the first book I ever read in kindergarten. I love, I have a love-hate, love-hate. I love Nancy Drews. I think nowadays I would probably never let a kid read them just because there's some like legit like racism in them. And I don't like that. It's not like, I guess it's not like outright, but it's very, like, all the bad guys are not American. There's just some things about it that I wouldn't want a kid reading that necessarily. I hope the newer ones are better. I think they're still making them, and I'm sure the newer ones are better. But I love Nancy Drews, and I have an incomplete set that my mom had when she was a kid, and I've always kind of wanted to fill out that set, but I'd always thought I'd have to go to a whole bunch of like antique stores or bookstores and try to like rifle through, and that doesn't sound appealing to me. And so right before bed, I literally Googled like Nancy Drew book 13 or whatever, and it brings up Etsy, and tons of people are selling Nancy Drew books on Etsy. And so right before falling asleep, I bought like 15 books from 2 different sellers. I just went through and made a list of all the ones I was missing, and within like 13 hours, like the next morning I did the same thing. Within 13 hours, I'd purchased all the books I was missing. And I was just kind of like, don't pay attention to how much money you're spending on this. It ended up not being, like, it was expensive, but for how many books I'm getting, it's not terrible. But that's one of my birthday presents. And so I've just been kind of wrapping them as they come because I bought them from like 8 different sellers. So, yeah, I'm excited about that. I don't even remember what I was talking about. Oh, yarn. So yeah, one of my birthday presents will be yarn. One of them will be Nancy Drew's. And then I have a couple other fun things in there too. So, okay, I have 2 more things to share, and then I'm done. The first one I just got, so I when Pom Pom announced that they were closing, I went ahead and bought their last 2 editions, and I just got my last one in the mail. So this is interesting because I'm gonna be honest, like, I think this patterning is nuts. Like, kudos to whoever designed this. This looks like so complicated. And it just blows my mind that this kind of creativeness is in somebody's brain. I don't think I would ever knit this for myself. It's not the kind of pattern I would like to wear, but I am massively impressed with that. But I kind of, when I've been saying this, I remember there was one book that I was like, I'm going to buy it because I want to support them, but I'm like, I don't know what I was thinking. This book is amazing. Like, it's so, like, there's some really, I don't think I will knit this, but I'm like, again, I'm impressed by it. Like, that is nuts. Maybe someday I will. I don't know. I'm not gonna rule it out. There's one. Oh, this is so pretty. I find this to be absolutely, okay, let's get my head out of the way. That is gorgeous. That is the Raya. I hope I pronounced that right. Oh gosh, like look, they're all so pretty. I'm just like I might actually make this. This is Convergence. Like that is so pretty. And just, you can play with color. There's one other in here that I was like really liked. Oh, this one, the Selvage. Oh my gosh, this is, I don't know that I feel like this might be too fussy for me, but it's so pretty. And like to think that that's knitted. That's knitted. And it came out of someone's brain. I'm impressed with that. Also like there's knitted pants. Like what the, that's a whole knitted set. That is nuts. That is absolutely nuts. So, oh, I didn't even see this. Oh my gosh, this is like harkens back to my early crafting days when you made those little pot holders. Oh man. But yeah, so this has been so fun to look at. Oh my gosh. Ooh. Sorry guys. I'm not going to show you this because I don't want to give that away, but like what color is that and how do I buy it? That is like such a fun spin cycle color. Why don't they say that on there? Also, there's a discount code that for spin cycle that I could have used. Ugh, dang it. Okay. But yeah, I think this is bravo, well done. Fantastic final edition. So I now have both of the I think this was 48 or was this 40? This, yeah, the 40, 47, 48. And yeah, I'm sad they're closed, but happy I got the last two. Okay, the last thing has nothing to do with knitting, but it's just so good I felt like I had to share it. So this is a beauty product. This is from True Botanicals. I've been using True Botanicals for 5 years now. I use their face serum and face oil. I love them. They smell, well, the face serum smells okay. Face oil smells amazing. I love them. It's what I primarily use on my skin. But I saw they came out with this last year and I just didn't. I was trying to save money, so I was like, I don't need this. It's called the Everything Rescue Balm. And you can tell I've had this for a week. I've already used a lot of it. It's amazing, y'all. So one of the beefs I have with balms is that you have to like really warm them up to be able to get anything on your hand. This one, even like freezing cold outside, my house being cold, it melts easy enough and it absorbs. It smells really good. It's not like super scented at all. It just has a very light scent. But I've been using this on my hands. I've used it as chapstick. I use it on dry patches on my face. But I absolutely love it. It literally, like, my skin feels so much softer and just moisturized. So I kind of regret not buying like 3 of these. So because I've just been like, I have it next to my knitting and then I have it in my purse and then I have it next to my desk at work. And then every time I wash my hands, I want it. So just a little shout out there. I think it's around $30 if I remember right. But honestly, so worth it. I probably wouldn't have bought 3. But I'm very much enjoying it this year. So right now. But yeah, that's my beauty rec. I probably won't make a whole lot of those, but that one I just thought was nice for our dry hands when we're crafting this year. That's the other thing. That reminded me of that. When I don't like it when you put on lotion or a balm and then you go back to knitting and your hands are just slippery and you can't grip anything. I don't feel like this, like, it's not that bad. Like, I can still knit after I put this on. So Anyway, all right, well, that's all I got this week. I will probably be back. I may not be back in 2 weeks. It may be 3. I forget why. I think I was like looking at my schedule, and I think I had something over the weekend in a couple weeks. So I may not be able to podcast for 3 weeks, but if I can, I'll be back in 2. Otherwise, I'll see you guys again in 3 weeks. For all you guys at Vogue Knitting Live, I'm so jelly of you. oh man, I need to make it there at some point because I feel like their keynote speakers are amazing. And I've never really strongly wanted to go to a keynote speaker at a knitting conference, but like Hohi last year and Labiana May or Amy, this year, I'm like, oh, these are so good. So maybe one of these days I'll make it, but if you're there, I hope you're having fun. And I hope you guys have a good 2 weeks or 3 weeks. I hope you get lots of time for knitting and being cozy. Hope you get to spend some time with friends and family. And I will see you back in 2 or 3 weeks. Bye.